Hello and good morning to every one of you. Thank you so much for coming on to this video. So, we are doing a video lecture series on research methodology. For those who have come for the first time, let me give you a brief about this course. So, this course will be based on research methodology. As you can see, we are completing it total in 5 units. So, we have completed the first unit, and this is our second unit, in which we will study about the research problems and the objectives. As you can see on your screen, these are the 5 units. So, in this part, I will talk about how to select the research problems and how to select the objective for that particular problem. So, as you can see, the title of our second unit, Research Problems and Hypothesis. So, if you want PDF of this lecture, you can go to our Telegram channel, Impactica Classe. For there, I will upload the PDF and you can download it from there. If you want to see the previous videos, they will be available in the playlist, and the link for the playlist will be given in the description below the video. So, let's start the video. So, research problem. Research problem is the most basic part of any research. This is the way in which we start a research. So first of all, for the research problem, for finding the research problem, you have to select a broad area of interest. Suppose you are doing a PhD on the subject of environments. Let's take environment. Okay. You are doing your PhD in the subject of environment. And in environment, suppose you have selected that you will specifically learn about the biodiversity. You will do a specialization on biodiversity. So the biodiversity can be seen on both land and on water. So you have selected that you will learn about the biodiversity on land. So, how will you learn about the biodiversity of land? Will you learn about the animals? You can learn about the birds. You can learn about the insect. So, you have selected that you will learn about the animals. Then, in animals, which animal have you targeted? Then, you will learn about tigers. So, this is one of the way in which you have to select a broad area of interest and then narrow it down. First, what we have done in this process. So if you see to it, first will be our subject in which you are doing your PhD. Then you will narrow it down to one of the core areas. In the core areas, there will be many disciplines will be attached to it. In that, you will select a particular discipline. In that particular discipline, you will refine it more. And finally, when you define it, you will arrive to your particular topic. So this is a way in which you can identify a broad area and then learn about it more and more so that you can define your topic. So you have selected that you will do a topic in which you will learn about the tigers. So this has to be your personal experience, professional observation. In professional observations, you have to talk to other students who will be there. Like PhD scholars will be there who have done research on this field. You have to talk to them and know what are the topics of interest. Current event, like you can see that the tigers, that for the tigers, government are making many national forest reservation plan. A new reservation plan national park has been established for tigers. So current events will also determine it. And then there are academic readings. Second, we will review the existing literature. Now I would like to show you an article. So I hope every one of you can see. uh, I hope I can increase the size of this article. Now it is clear to all of you. In this, you can see in every article that you will study, before selecting a topic, you have to select the articles. In the articles at the end, you will see there is a paragraph like this, which will have limitation. Limitations are what? Every article cannot go into the in-depth of everything. So they will have limitations. The places where they could not study. And your limitations will give rise to your topic. Limitations in one article will give rise to your topic. So for example, in limitations you can see that the tigers population which was counted, suppose tigers population which was counted only in Madhya Pradesh. Now you will select a new state and you will do your counting in Chhattisgarh, or you will select a new country and you will do it in China. So these are all the identified gaps which are available in knowledge, and you will discover more things, uncover areas that require further investigation. Suppose in tiger population in MP, it was said that due to deforestation, cutting of the trees, the population of tigers decreased. But further through investigation, you have found that illegal hunting of the tigers also play a major role. So you will go further into the investigation and develop new points in the study. We'll see on to the next point. Consider practical problems. Consider practical problems. So in this, you will see the issues faced by the organization. See, for doing the research, first you have to know the tigers population. For conducting any research, you have to know the tigers population. Only then you can say it is decreasing or increasing. For that, you need very specific data. So one of the technology that was improved to know about the tigers population was M-Stripes. This was developed in 2010 to know about the tigers population. Earlier than that, the census of tiger population was not done in a very good way. Now, if we don't know about the tigers population, how can we solve the problems of tiger population increasing or decreasing, or they are maintaining their biodiversity or not? So you have to see to the problem, see the research problem that there is there, and find out a solution to your particular problem. So that is to consider the practical problems, and this will be specifically important in the industries, because what you will do in your PhD will be for 5 years. You have to make sure that whatever subject you take, whatever topic you take, be relevant even after 5 years, so that when you apply for teaching teaching to be a professor in any of the institutions or colleges, your topic should be relevant, and the people who are hiring you should be interested in your particular topic. So this is why we have to consider practical problems. Now we will move on to the fourth point, which is formulate a problem statement. So when we formulate a problem statement, we have to see three things. First, describe the issue being addressed. As you can see the PPT over here, I am reading the same 3 points. Describe the issue being addressed. So what is our issue? That the tiger population is decreasing. So this is the first point. Explain the significance of the problem. Significance is tigers population decreases, so the biodiversity will also be affected negatively. And the third, outline the scope of research. Scope of research means the limitation of research, where you will do your research. So we have selected the state of Madhya Pradesh for our research. So these are the 3 points which are there. You have to formulate a problem statement, or when you are formulating your title, you have to include all these 3 points. The tiger's population is decreasing, it is affecting the biodiversity negatively, and we are doing our research in Madhya Pradesh. So look at this title. I will see to it if I can increase the size or not. Maybe I cannot increase. Let me specify each point. So the topic which it is said over here, the declining tiger population in Madhya Pradesh forest, impact on biodiversity. So the declining tigers population decline. So you have described the issue in Madhya Pradesh. There you have described the scope of your research and impacts on biodiversity. So you have described the significance of the problem. Significance is importance. Why you are doing research on this particular topic. So over here, your statement or your topic has been selected, and you have selected a topic and framed it in a way in which all the important points are noted. So this comes to your research title. Now we will go on to the objectives. If we look onto the objective is very easy. Objective means that the reason why you are doing this research. What will be the outcome of this research? So for objectives, you have to remember a mnemonics SMART. For the letter S stands for specific. So what we are doing? We are seeing that tigers population is decreasing. Second, we have to be measurable. So in measurable, one of the things that we missed in the title, we have to specify a particular year. Suppose we specify a particular year 2024. So we have to specify that measurable, that in 2024 the population of tigers is 90, and in 2023 the population of tigers was 100. Then we can see that the tigers population is decreasing. Third, we have to specify a title which has to be achievable. Like we will get 5 years for completing our PhD. In 5 years, we cannot see the whole of India. In the whole of India, all the biodiversity and tigers population we cannot see. So we have selected a particular state. In our case, it is MP. So it will be achievable. From R comes with relevant. Our topic should be relevant. In this case, if you talk about reality, it is not very much relevant. Relevant means important should be there. Like in the year 2020 and 21, I have given this example before also, that the corona was very much popular. Everyone wanted to know about the corona disease. So many papers were released on the topic. So you have to see a topic which is relevant. If we see that the topic is relevant, how can we describe national parks on tiger reserves are built, and there are many technologies being made like M stripes. Although M stripes was made in the year 2010, just to give you an example, I am giving you this M stripes. And the third point is it should be time bound. Your research should be time bound. Like you should have an idea that when you will describe the title, how much time you need for the literature review, for creating, collecting all the data, how much time should you need for preparing the thesis, how much time you require. So it should be in a time bound basis. Second, align the objectives with your research problem. Now, your objective should be such that they match with your research problem. For example, my objective can't be to identify biodiversity in MP. This will be a wrong research objective according to our title. Why? Because I am not looking at the overall biodiversity aspect in Madhya Pradesh. As you as we have studied that biodiversity will include many things. We are identifying biodiversity only on the basis of tigers. We are studying about the population of tigers, and according to the population of tigers, the effect that it has on the population of tigers, we will study the impact that it has on the biodiversity. So this will be our wrong objective. Our objective should be very specific and it should directly relate to the title of our topic. Second, third point, we will use the action verbs. So in third point, it is said we will use the action verbs. So action verbs is something that we have to do action on. So it is very clear from the title words that are given over here that we have to give the objective in such a way that we are doing something. See over here, to identify, to describe, to analyze, to evaluate, to compare. So in this way, we should start our objective. Any objective that we are giving, we should start in this way. Any of the thesis that you are doing, it should have a minimum of 3 objectives and a maximum of 5 objectives. Now these objectives can have sub-objectives within them, but your main objective should be a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 5 in most of the cases. These are the same points given. Make the objective specific and measurable. Ensure objectives are achievable. So I have given you the time bound thing. So the objective should be achievable and realistic. Realistic is that if we go about the whole country, it will not be able to achieve it in 5 years. So we'll describe a specific state. Make objectives relevant and significant. And the 7th one is structure objectives logically. Now we will see to it what do we mean by structure objectives logically. So when we are studying about the research, we have to structure the objectives in a correct logic. See, in this we are studying about the declining tiger population in Madhya Pradesh forest, impact on biodiversity. So from the title, it is very clear that our most important point is the tigers population. So our first objective will be to study on reasons for the decreasing population of tigers in Madhya Pradesh. So this our will be first objective. Second objective will be what? To analyze the impact on negative impact on biodiversity for the decreasing tigers on population. I'm not able to frame it correctly, but you can understand what I am saying over here, that we have to structure our objectives logically, in which we have presented our title. So this was our short lecture for today. Thank you so much for attending this lecture. I hope you have understood everything that I have said and I have explained in this lecture. If you have any doubts, kindly comment down. Tomorrow we will learn how to generate our hypothesis, what are the types of hypothesis, and how we can progress in our research. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video and kindly come back on the next lecture. Thank you so much.